Let's kick off the show in the NBA as the Los Angeles Clippers win their first game since shocking decision and shocking the world to let go of Chris Paul on his retirement tour. The Clippers blew out the Atlanta Hawks 115-92 here. LA was pretty much in control most of the game. The lead even ballooned to as big as 25 points come the fourth quarter. James Harden and Kawhi Leonard finished with a combined 48 markers, though they did make just 18 out of 45 field goal attempts. The victory comes less than 24 hours after the Clips announced that they are parting ways with CP3. It has been a tough season so far for the team. Even with today's win, the Clips are still well below 500 with just 6 victories and 16 losses. The Hawks, meanwhile, fall to 13-10.
There are reports of tension between Chris Paul and members of the Clippers organization. Reports say the team felt Paul became disruptive for being vocal in holding management, coaches, and players accountable. The Clippers did clarify that they are not blaming the franchise legend for the dismal start to their season. After beating the Hawks, Clippers head coach Ty Lue addressed the surprising move. He said, quote, "It just didn't work out like we thought it would. I don't like it for CP, but it just wasn't a good fit, and we understood that." Lue also clarified that this was the organization's decision. Paul signed a 1-year deal to reunite with the Clippers in July. The 40-year-old point guard has also hinted that he will retire at the end of this season.
From one team dealing with controversy to another, the Milwaukee Bucks with a big win over the Detroit Pistons amid fresh reports that Giannis Antetokounmpo may finally be traded soon. Well, ironically, the Bucks had to play almost the entire game without the Greek Freak, who left the game after just 3 minutes due to a right calf strain. Milwaukee rallied from as many as 18 points down to get the 113-109 victory. Kevin Porter Jr. led the way with 26 points, who also to go along with 7 assists. Ryan Rollins added 22 markers, while A.J. Green had 19. The Bucks are now 10-13 this season, while the Pistons are 17-5.
I'll just say this, there's a lot of outside noise. That's just what comes with it. And, you know, Yanni does a great job of assuring that he's wanting to be here with this group specifically. So we ain't worried about all the outside noise, you know. That's my brother, and I'm sure if it was something, he would come to us, but he with us, and we gonna hold it down until he ready. In the moment of the game, you know, all you can say is, you know, we gotta elevate. You know, our star player's out, so all of us gotta elevate, and I think that was the message. And usually when things like that happen, you know, two things, it's either, you know, you come together as a unit and you figure out a way to reel it in for them, or, you know, the air gets sucked out of, you know, like you said, and we can't come back from it. And I think Yanni will be proud of us that we was able to come back and finish the game and get a win for him.
Well, reports claim Antetokounmpo and his agent already have started talking to the Bucks about whether it's best for the two-time MVP to stay with the team or go elsewhere. But Bucks head coach Doc Rivers reiterates Antetokounmpo has never asked for a trade. Giannis has played his entire 12-year NBA career so far in Milwaukee, leading the team to an NBA title back in 2021.
As for the Denver Nuggets, they beat the Indiana Pacers thanks to a scoring explosion from Jamal Murray. Final score here, 135-120, with Murray putting up a whopping 52 points. The Blue Arrow was on target, 19 of 25 from the field, including 10 of 11 from beyond the arc. It's the most efficient 50-point game in NBA history. And it comes even though Murray was listed as questionable for the game because of an ankle sprain he suffered just 2 days ago. Pascal Siakam tried to carry the Pacers with 23 points in a losing effort. The Nuggets improved to 15 wins and 6 losses, while the Pacers fall to 4-18.
The defense fuels offense. I know when we're in the half court, we execute well, we share the ball, we're unselfish, we cut, we move, we make shots. Guys come in the game ready to play. I think the difference with us is when we play defense, we can add to that, and on top of that, stop the other team from scoring. So it's a double-edged sword, and once we figure that out, we'll be really good.
I didn't realize he had as many points as he did, to be honest. I mean, we were going to him a lot. But yeah, you can tell when he gets in a certain rhythm, the way the ball comes off his hand, the way he releases his legs. He just has that feeling. I can remember years back, I believe it was during COVID, but at Cleveland, a very similar 50-point game with no free throws, which I don't think I'd ever seen that before in my life. So there are nights where he can be really special shooting the ball. He's always special offensively, but just the rhythm he had tonight and the flow, he's one of those guys that when you see it, and the other thing with Jamal is he can do it in the playoffs too, and he's proven he can. So these are special 50-point nights for him, but more importantly, a good night for our team.
6 more NBA games for you today.
Well, let's go through the results really quickly. Let's start. Danny Avdia scoring 27 points as the Portland Trailblazers beat the Cleveland Cavaliers here 122-110. Luke Cornett's game-saving block helps the San Antonio Spurs hold off the Orlando Magic 114-112. Karl Anthony Towns dropping 35 points and 18 rebounds to lead the New York Knicks past the Charlotte Hornets 119-104.
Michael Porter Jr.'s 33 points and 10 rebounds power the Brooklyn Nets past the depleted Chicago Bulls 113-103. Alperen Sengun and Kevin Durant combined for 52 markers as the Houston Rockets blow out the Sacramento Kings 121-95. And lastly, the Dallas Mavericks win 3 in a row after a 118-108 romp of the Miami Heat. Coming up, who made the cut for Gilas Filipinas in the Southeast Asian Games? We reveal the 12-man roster for the regional meet when play-by-play returns here on One News.
And we're back. Thank you for joining us here on Play by Play on One News. Gilas Filipinas goes through a major overhaul for the Southeast Asian Games in Thailand. Let's take a look at our screens right now. This is the final lineup. It will feature pro ballers Robert Bolick, Justin Chua, Jamie Malonzo, Abu Tratter, Dalf Panopio, and Ray Parks, as well as Bon Pesumal, Ferdy Ravena, and the sharpshooting Matthew Wright. College standout Cedric Manzano, former UAAP Rookie of the Year VJ Pre, and NCAA MVP Allen Liwag will complete the squad. Coach Norman Black will call the shots instead of Tim Cohn. The Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas, or SBP, says this is the fourth version of the lineup. They're blaming the initially unclear and constantly changing rules on player eligibility. The final list is very different from Black's initial roster. That one included several foreign players like Jason Brickman, Kaimani Ladi, and Mike Phillips, as well as naturalized cagers Ange Kwame and Justin Brownlee. But reports said Thailand considered players who got their Philippine passports after 16 years old as naturalized. Gilas will begin its SEA Games title defense when they take on Malaysia on December 14.
Moving on to the PBA, the NLEX Road Warriors lock in the services of two solid role players for the long haul. Forwards Anthony Semerad and Dominic Fajardo signed fresh extensions yesterday at the NLEX compound in Balintawak. Both players helped the Road Warriors qualify for the quarterfinals of the ongoing PBA Philippine Cup. Semerad is averaging almost 7 points and 6.2 rebounds across 6 games so far. Fajardo is posting 5.7 markers, 4 boards, and 1.3 steals in 7 appearances this conference. NLEX already has 6 wins and just 2 losses in the All-Filipino tilt.
Since we're already talking about the PBA Philippine Cup, action will finally resume again tomorrow after a break of almost 3 weeks. The Friday doubleheader will take place at the Inaga Center in Antipolo, and it will start at 5:15 p.m. as you can see right now, with the Converge Fiber Xers facing the Magnolia Hotshots. This will be a good one. A virtual must-win for both teams as the race to the quarterfinals heats up. Then at 7:30 in the evening, it's a marquee matchup between the defending champs, the San Miguel Beermen, and the TNT Tropang 5G in a rematch of last season's All-Filipino Finals. You can watch both games live on One Sports, on PBA Rush, on RPTV, and the Filipinas Live app.
In the UAAP, LaSalle's Kian Baclaan is grateful to be back just in time to help the Archers in the men's basketball Final Four. Baclaan played his first game in almost 2 months yesterday when LaSalle beat the top-seeded NU Bulldogs to force a do-or-die battle for a spot in the finals. Baclaan came off the bench and finished with 6 points, a rebound, and 2 assists in 19 minutes of action against his former team. The LaSalle guard suffered an MCL injury in a game against UE way back in the first round. The injury forced him to miss LaSalle's last 8 elimination round games. But instead of getting season-ending surgery, Baclaan opted for rehab so he could return this year. The LaSalle NU decider will take place on Saturday.
Bumalik ako ulit sa LaSalle, nag-watch ako ng teams nila, nag-therapy ako. Kasi yung first finding niya, surgery eh. So hindi ako pumayag kasi ayaw mag-surgery kasi pag nag-surgery ako, hindi rin ako makakalaro next season. So sabi ko, second opinion, kahit third opinion pa yan, basta hindi ako mag-surgery, ayaw ako, sabi ko. And yun, good thing naman, hindi ako, nung second MRI ko, hindi ako opera. So sabi nila, evaluate lang ng 4 to 6 weeks. So ang daming nangyari. So ayun, dito na ulit ako. Hindi ko iniisip kung sino yung kalaban namin eh. Former team or kung sino man yan, basta ako gusto ko makatulong eh. And kanina, habang naglalaro, compose lang, hindi ko pinipilit kasi gusto ko lang makuha yung rhythm ko.
We've got volleyball news after this quick break. Find out who's part of the Alas Pilipinas men's and women's lineups for the Southeast Asian Games. Play-by-play will be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching Play-by-Play on One News. The Alas Filipinas lineups for the 33rd Southeast Asian Games are here.
Well, you said it, Czech. And for the men's team, it's practically identical to that roster that made history at the FIVB Men's World Championship here in September. Let's take a look at our screens again. Here we go. Earlier, we saw Gilas Filipinas. How about Alas Filipinas men? And as you can see, they're still bannered by Brian Bagunas and Mark Espejo. They join fellow returning players Kim Malabunga, Lloyd Josafat, Vince Lorenzo, Owa Retamar, Eko Adahar, Leo Ordiales, Buds Budin, Peng Tagibulos, Josh Ibanez, Louis Ramirez, and Jade Disquitado. USC rookie Al Pukari Sali is the only new addition to this team. Alas men hopes to recapture that magic of their silver medal run during the 2019 Southeast Asian Games that was held here in Manila, or possibly even win the gold this time around in Bangkok.
As for Alas women, it's a star-studded mix of youth and experience, headlined by Bella Belen, Angel Canino, and team captain Gia de Guzman. They will team up with Don Catindig, Maddie Madayag, Vanny Gandler, Justine Hazareno, Ea Laure, Shaina Netura, Del Palomata, Amy Provido, Alyssa Solomon, Alia Malaluan, and Mars Alba. Alas women look to end their run of fourth-place finishes and return to the podium for the first time since 2005. The national women's volleyball team last won a Southeast Asian Games gold in 1993. The 33rd SEA Games will take place in Thailand from December 9 to 20. In other volleyball news, 3 former Cherry Tigo players find a new home just days after the club announced its exit from the PVL. Ces Robles, Karen Verdeflor, and rookie Ren Peñafiel have all signed with Strong Group Athletics, but it remains uncertain where the trio will be assigned. The options will likely be between the Farm Fresh Foxies and Zeus Coffee Thunderbells. Robles, who signed with Cherry Tigo in 2023, developed into one of the team's most reliable scorers. In just 2 seasons, the former UAAP Finals MVP tallied 446 points, including 407 attacks, 37 blocks, and 22 aces. Verdeflor, the 9th overall pick in 2024, stepped in as a steady backup libero behind Alas Filipinas defensive specialist Jen Yerva. Peñafiel, drafted 26th overall this year, finished her rookie season with 84 points built on 71 attacks, 7 aces, and 6 blocks. More Cherry Tigo players are expected to join new clubs in the coming days.
Back on all NBA lineup for you on a Thursday night. Let's start with the Heat against the Mavericks. Anthony Davis turning back the clock. This is the AD that we want to see, especially if you're Dallas. Take a look at that pass from Nemhard over to AD for the slam. Nothing the interior defense, Wiggins, and the Heat can do there if AD will be that beast, that guy. Davis, by the way, 17 points, 17 big rebounds as well as he helped the Mavs beat the Heat here. Final score 118-108. Up next, let's go to Charlotte and New York in MSG. Josh Hart with steal. Off the big Karl Anthony Towns. Look at that reverse two-handed. Showing off his athleticism. Take a look again. Woo! Slam dunk contest lang. Cat with a massive double-double. 35 points, 18 big boards. The Knicks take down the Hornets at home. 119-104. Up next, how about the Nets against the Bulls in Chicago? Tyrese Martin gets a steal. Woo! Daming pang slam dunk contest. Look at that again. 360, two-handed flush by Tyrese Martin. He only finished with 4 points, but 2 of those came from that electrifying slam right there. The Nets beat the Bulls in the Windy City, 113-103. Up next, Detroit and Milwaukee. In Milwaukee, Miles Turner. Watch your head, Beef Stew. Over assist Stewart. And then eventually after that, Stewart got entangled with Bobby Portis, then got ejected. But what a poster by Miles Turner. Whew, the veteran center chipping in 9 points as the Bucks cooled down. Red Hot Pistons 113 to 109. And finally, last but definitely not the least, Spurs and the Magic in Orlando. Black inside to Wagner, blocked! And look at Luke Cornett with the ala Usain Bolt pose after that. What a defensive play from Luke Cornett, being at the right place, right time to save the game for Orlando. They were clinging on to that 2-point lead. Take a look at the clock winding down. And eventually San Antonio wins in Orlando, 114. 112 Cornett, 5 points, 7 rebounds, 3 swats. Big win for San Antonio. On the road in Orlando, thanks to big Luke Cornett with that swat right there.
And before we go, Basketball Hall of Famer Dwight Howard is at it again. This time, he's got a recruitment offer for the newly released Chris Paul. The former NBA big man who last played professionally in Taiwan's T1 League reposted an old invitation he made to the point guard back in 2023. But this time, D12's got a fresh pitch saying in the caption, "Chris, we might as well make this happen now. You see how they do us. We could be balling in our 40s overseas." The post comes amid the uncertainty surrounding Paul's next move. CP3 did earlier hint that he will retire at the end of the season.
Wait, Howard, lahat na lang nire-recruit eh. Di ba? Lahat na lang, sino pa yung mga tinatawag nyo dati? Kahit si Dillon Brooks, I remember when he was released by Memphis, Dwight Howard, Misery Loves Company eh. But you know what? You mentioned Philippines. Who knows? We might be an import, but it's Chris Paul. You know, I'm sure an NBA team would still sign him. I'm hoping, because he's good friends with OKC's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They were teammates in OKC. Sana, di ba? Sa OKC, tas manalo ng title, makaisang ring si Chris Paul before retires. Wishful thinking yun. But Taiwan, Filipinas, Chris Paul, let's see.
I mean, we've seen Dwight Howard. But yeah, this is just not the way we want to see Chris Paul's career end also. Because it's I mean, he has been talking about one more season, one last season or whatever. And biglang, just found out, I'm going home.
Yeah. Pati storybook ending sana sa LA Clippers, di ba? He had a great career there. Lob City with Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, those guys. Sana doon na siya mag-retire, but that's life of a basketball player. It is a business at the end of the day. And speaking of which, we end the show right here. That's all from us tonight, mga kapatid. Catch us again tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. for a play-by-play of today's top sports stories.
Play-by-play is on One News, that's Signal TV, Channel 8 on SD, and Channel 250 on HD. We are also available on Signal Play and Filipinas Live.
I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Cheska Liton-Calao. Thank you for watching, mga kapatid. Good night.